Hey everybody, welcome back. CALLOUS Draft Duel Quarterfinals here. It is Zokuru and DarthTyros. Before we get into it, let me just remind you guys that we could use your love and support. Multiple ways to do that. A quick and easy one, no money out of your pocket, is hitting that like button. Boom, done. You could have already done it. Also, consider subscribing to my channel, please, if you've been enjoying the tour. But the number one best way that you can support this tour or any tour that I host is by donating. The way that you do that is with the PayPal donation link found in my Discord server. There's a link to that Discord server in the description. It's really easy. It's fast, secure, easy, legit. It takes under 30 seconds to donate. I don't keep any of it. It all goes into the prize pool. It supports the players, supports the tour, and it encourages me to run more of these tournaments in the future. So if you've got the means and you want to help us get this prize pool up just a little bit, we got 400 bucks right now. Maybe we can hit 5 by the end of the tournament. I would super duper appreciate anything that you can contribute. Now, to the action. And thank you guys for watching. It is Zokuru and DarthTyros in quarterfinal action. As always, if you want to see how we got here, you can go on down to the description. Along with the link to the Discord server, you will also find a link to the video in which we go over their draft in detail. So if you want to see how we got here, you've got the option to do that. And with all that good stuff out of the way, we've got ourselves a best of 3 set. Zokuru and DarthTyros. Here is game 1. Zok is on the bottom, Tyros is on the top, neither one is on an alt. Hariyama immediately crit by the lead Vaporeon. It's a Surf though, not a Hydro Pump. And Brick Break back 41% is pretty hefty as well, but obviously the crit Surf does more. And he's going to Surf again, obviously, and he's going to hit the Registeel, 25% both times. Earthquake meh at 24%. Vaporeon should win this 1v1 if it plays out. But Zokuru is going to switch it up to T-Wave, which is going to potentially change things. And now Umbreon comes in. Got to be an offensive Vaporeon to be doing this amount of damage. Does a third to Umbreon here. But he can either keep that wish for himself or pass it to either of the pokes that he's already shown that both need it. Yes, Taunt does in fact work through Substitute. We don't know what he wanted to do there because of full power, but Taunt very well may have stopped it. And he's going to keep the wish in this context for himself. Going to Taunt again, and that is going to prevent a Baton Pass, which might have been what Tyros wanted to do last time. Protected Surf, fair enough. Umbreon seems to be effectively neutralizing his Evolution brother or cousin or whatever Vaporeon is in this instance. I guess sister because they're both female in this case. Wish and Surf. Taunt. And that's going to prevent Toxic, so full set revealed for Tyros, and Taunt is definitely preventing a good amount of it. Wish yet again, but the Baton Pass does successfully get off. And after all that effort, who do you want to put behind a sub? The answer ends up being Lax, but Armaldo has repeatedly been picked throughout this format as a Lax counter, and Harden is not a meme. This is one of the ways that it theoretically beats Snorlax, and Tyros buys into it. He switches out after one Harden. Hidden power there as well, since that is an offensive Vaporeon, is not going to take 2 hits. Down that goes. Arcanine, reasonable Heracross check. Now granted, good prediction for Tyros going Rock Slide, but gonna miss unluckily, and out of the way he goes. Flamethrower against Entei is whatever. Retaliation Flamethrower back on the Arcanine is also whatever, but Toxic is not whatever. Unless that is a rest Entei. Going to be stuck with that, and it's not going to be pretty. Protect there in case he stayed in. He didn't. Starmie comes in. Hydro Pump wide and left of the Umbreon. Wish floating with Heracross about to Focus Punch something. And Wheezing comes in. A fantastic answer. Wish is back up to a hundo. Wow. And Tyros, I guess, frustrated or does not feel like he's going to be able to beat the Wheezing or something, but seemingly a premature concession from Tyros. Bringing both the Heracross and the Lax in game 1 opens you up certainly to a double Wheezing weakness, and that might be what went wrong here. It looks like Zok was really, really well padded against the Lax, so pretty good matchup variance here. He happens to bring the Hariyama, the Armaldo, and the Wheezing in the game in which his opponent brings Snorlax. That is a rough beat. That is hard to overcome. So Zok happened to be really, really padded in this game against Lax, and that's going to make it very tough for Tyros. And then Heracross is good against some of this stuff, but the Wheezing really a thorn in his side. I'm surprised Tyros didn't play this out. If he can kill the Wheezing, which is a big if, then the Heracross does do a lot of damage to these other Pokemon, but yeah, he really didn't like his chances. Let me see real quick because he didn't actually show it. Let me see what Tyros' last poke was. He had a Swords Dance. Oh, not Swords Dance Pass. Swords Dance Celebi in the back. Swords Dance HP Fighting, Ancient Power Psychic with max speed rather and max attack. Interesting. Yeah, seems like a tough matchup for Tyros for sure. Kind of lucky, maybe strategic, either way, for Zok to bring all this anti-Lax stuff into the Lax, but there definitely is some logic and some theory and some psychology into what game you should bring certain Pokemon to. We won't get into that here, maybe in a future video, but for now it is 1-0 for Zokuru, trying to punch his spot in the semifinals. Here's game 2. Zok will be on the bottom again, Tyros on the top, T-Tar and Raikou lead. T-Tar should get the better end of that. And he's going to go for Crunch, though. It is a special Tar, or mixed, I guess, rather than a physical Tar. Machamp is obviously going to scare him away. And Brick Break is going to completely whiff on Sableye here, which might get a free knockoff. Bulk Up, though. And the knockoff does make it so the sand is something of a clock on the Machamp, but don't want to let it get too many Bulk Ups. +1 Rock Slide, not as much as I thought actually, 41%, but the Shadow Ball back is not exciting either, especially after the defensive boost of Bulk Up. Rock Slide missing though, annoying there for Tyros, because obviously a flinch would be very good and put the Sableye in danger. Gonna fish for another one, but doesn't find it here either. And I guess at this point you just Rock Slide again, right? Go for a crit or a flinch. Doesn't find it, and Sableye gets recover off, so one more chance for a crit or a flinch, and then Machamp is gonna drop. Rock Slide connects on Foray. I wonder if he goes back to Sableye here, anticipating a fighting attack. He Rock Slides again just in case, and he does get a flinch here, so obviously would have preferred to get it on the Sableye, but not bad to get it there. You do prevent a spike from coming down. And there's a critical hit, Hidden Power from Foray. Hidden Power neutral there. Bug maybe? Brick Break whiffing as Sableye comes in again. Does Metacham have what it needs to punch through here? Shadow Ball's not going to do it. That is the niche of Sableye. That Shadow Ball would have been devastating against Dusclops, Misdreavus, Gengar, any other ghost, but Sableye, with its unique typing, unique in this generation anyway, can handle it. And trying to Rock Slide down the Sableye has proved to be a fruitless endeavor for Tyros. He cannot find the flinches when he needs it. And this is looking pretty good for Zok early on. The Sableye has really done work here. Zok really justifying his preference of Sableye over any of the other ghosts. It dies now, but it definitely already did its job. But uh-oh, never mind. Hold on. Milotic into +1 Raikou. Mirror Coat? No, he's just going to Toxic and miss. Does Zok not have an answer to Raikou here? Certainly giving up the Milotic for nothing doesn't seem to be the answer. Foray down. What the fuck? Now he goes to Blissey? Is Zokuru drunk? What is going on here? Oh, that's why. It's because it's not S-Toss. That's why he went to the Milo. He tried to Toxic it because it's not S-Toss Blissey. He's going to have to get into a Calm Mind pissing contest that he was trying to avoid. Fair enough. I guess this is going to be his best bet. Ice Beam fishing for Critter Freeze. Gets neither. 4 boosts versus 2. Make that 5 versus 2. But Zok is just trying to get nonsense. And there you go. There's a freeze. But Tyros will have many turns to try to thaw out here. Unless a crit comes down, of course. No thaw, no crit. Unclear if the Raikou has rest or not, but that would certainly be the ideal thing in this situation, to thaw out and click rest. Well, fair enough. Well, easy to beat Raikou when you freeze it and it never thaws. And Tyros is going to concede. That was a weirdly played game. It looks like on paper, and I get why it played out this way, but it looks like Zokuru simply gave up the Fori and the Milo for basically nothing when he could have just gone to Blissey all along. And there's certainly an argument to be made that that's what he should have done. The Fori in particular is weird. Now, the Milo, I don't know that I love, but I get. He was trying to get a Toxic on it in exchange for the life of the Milo, which makes the Blissey a lot safer, because then you could just soft-boiled stall it out. Fine. I don't get giving up the Fortress. That just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, after he had made those plays and neither one worked out, felt like he had no choice, and he's probably right. I don't know. I mean, the T-Tower wasn't going to beat it at that point, and I don't know what the last is, but I can check real quick. Last would have been Moltres, certainly not about to beat Raikou. So yeah, he felt that he had no choice other than Blissey at that point, which I would agree with. And yeah, you just have to get into the CM pissing contest and get there. The Ice Beam, he only has 16 PP, staring down a Pressure Mon, so if the plan is to freeze him there, he only has 8 chances to do it. And in addition to only having 8 chances to do it, there's also the possibility that Raikou just thaws or just has Substitute or whatever. If he has Substitute, he had a chance earlier on in this transaction to do it, but chose not to, which makes me think that it actually might have been a Rescue. I'm going to check that right here, since Tyros did show the team. Yeah, it was Mono Attack Thunderbolt. It was actually Rest Talk Raikou. Combine T-Bolt, Rest Talk. So yeah, Zokuru actually got really, really lucky to get out of this game, because he not only had to freeze him, but if he ever thaws, he just clicks Rest, and Zokuru is in a ton of trouble. So what was in the back for Tyros? It was a Slowbro and a Slowking and Tentacruel in the back. Fair enough. Yeah, Zok got really lucky on this one. Tyros should have won with the Raikou the way that it played out. Mathematically, it was very, very favored for Tyros to do so, but that's why we play the game. That's why we go through the motions. Sometimes freezes or other nonsense happen, and this was one of those times. Now, if Tyros had won this game, as he was mathematically heavily favored to do, does that mean that he wins the series? Of course not. We would have gone to Game 3, and who the hell knows how that would have gone. Zokuru very well may have won that, and then all is right with the world. But if Tyros wants to argue that he should have won this game and should have gone to Game 3, I would agree with him. But that's not the way that it played out. It is a 2-0 victory for Zokuru. He will be in the semifinals, and Tyros, head up high, good quarterfinal run, doing things his own way. But the road does end here for him. I appreciate you guys watching. Click that like button if you've been enjoying it as well, and I will see you in the next video.